have had a revelation. And I know it's real. I know it's right because it feels right. And feelings are more important than evidence, right? This revelation came to me in my dreams. The dream state just being another form of reality. It was a revelation about Rick Santorum. But before I reveal this revelation, let's look at the evidence. Let's look at his words. Because when the words are spoken, the unbecoming becomes. The invisible is made real. Obama's agenda is not about you. It's not about your quality of life. It's not about your jobs. It's about some phony ideal, some phony theology. Oh, not a theology based on the Bible, a different theology. He is imposing his values on the Christian church. He can categorize those values any way he wants. I'm not going to. Because free prenatal testing ends up in more abortions, and therefore less care that has to be done because we cull the ranks of the disabled in our society. That too is part of Obamacare, another hidden message as to what President Obama thinks of those who are less able than the elites who want to govern our country. I don't think birth control works. I think it's harmful to women, harmful to our society, to have a society that says sex outside of marriage is something that should be encouraged or tolerated, particularly among the young. And I think it has. We've seen very, very harmful long-term consequences to a society. So birth control, to me, enables that, and I don't think that's a healthy thing for our country. We are leaving so many children behind. They are not ready to go to college. They don't want to go to college. They don't need to go to college. I was so outraged that the President of the United States said every student should go to college. Who are you to say that every child in America goes to college? It's very interesting that you have a situation where science will only allow things in the classroom that are consistent with a non-creator idea of how we got here, as if somehow or other that's scientific. Well, maybe the science points to the fact that maybe science doesn't explain all these things. And if it does point to that, then why don't you pursue that? Because you can't, because it's not science. But if science is pointing you there, how can you say that it's not science? We have to have all sorts of government regulations because of the threat of hydrofracking. It's the new boogeyman. It's a new way to try to scare you and those folks, particularly not from Oklahoma and Texas. We're sort of new to this stuff, hydrofracking in Pennsylvania. And they're preying on the Northeast, saying, look what's going to happen. Ooh, all this bad stuff's going to happen. We don't know all these chemicals and all this stuff. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Except that they will use this to raise money for the radical environmental groups so they can go out and continue to purvey their reign of environmental terror on this, the United States of America. We will stand up for the truth. I, for one, never bought the hoax of global warming. I, for one, understood just from science that there are 100 factors that influence the climate. To suggest that one minor factor in the minor factor is the determining ingredient in the sauce that affects the entire global warming and cooling is just absurd on its face. If you leave it to nature, then nature will do what nature does, which is boom and bust. We were put on this earth as creatures of God to have dominion over the earth, to use it wisely and steward it wisely, but for our benefit, not for the earth's benefit. We are the intelligent beings that know how to manage things. And through that course of science and discovery, if we can be better stewards of the environment, then we should not let the vagaries of nature destroy what we have helped created. Clearly, by his words, he is a boozavisht, an evildoer, a demon. The demon Santorum! Now to prove it, remember that the name is the thing. If you analyze the name, Rick Santorum, look at what you get when you take the letters out. You get run, am, tricks. Well, what does this mean? This clearly means that his presidential run is a trick. Rick Santorum has been sent here to trick us. He serves the trickster, the father of lies. That's right, the demon Santorum is a servant of Loci. Please, somebody, please, summon Thor. For the love of all, summon Thor!